Thanks for joining us again. All right, Matthew, we've gone through quite a bit of information here. This has been great. I think what would be helpful now is, I think a lot of people have considered acupuncture. They've heard about it, they've heard good things about it, but they're afraid of the needles.
Right.
And so I'd like for you to talk a little bit about those tools of the trade. And then we'll use me as a model here and do a little bit of distal acupuncture.
Sure.
So we can talk about that experience and I can provide feedback as well.
Sound good. Yeah. So we talked about what local acupuncture local acupuncture work can do and the distal acupuncture can do. But basically, when you have acute pain, pain's asking body for great help, and then it should be all disappear within certain time. It passes about 6 months, and then still pain's there. Then we call it chronic pain. Acute cases, I may do local treatment because it's not already built into your body as a habit. So just putting some local needles, local means where the pain is, I put more needles there, then I can increase more of a healthy inflammatory response, which means you get more blood, more white blood cells, more healers, more painkillers, because it was adding more inflammation in the areas. And still bodies don't have habit of having this pain. This will be beneficial, and then sooner or later pain will stop.
So, for example, if someone's in a car accident and gets whiplash, you might treat that the day after here. But if they show up to you and say, oh, I was in a car accident a year ago, then this is probably not where you'd go.
Right.
You'd go to the distal.
Yes. Initially, acute cases of still, I trust your blood activities, blood work. I'm not going to take over your blood ability of your blood, healing ability. However, 6 months later, or already your body build up habit of having this pain, that means it's not only about damaged muscle or some soft tissues. It's now about your nerve system.
True.
Because somehow you are not getting enough blood circulation because of poor blood activity there, and body don't think you need constant care. They have now
It's
this
off
connection.
doing.
Yeah. So communication is off. That means nerve system issue. At the time, distal points much much more effective, because we are not only just getting some tiny invasion to get more inflammatory response. You already had the chance, but you already built up lots of communication with issues. So we make those communication back to where it should be by using another nerve system which can affect those areas. And then previous interview we talked about how body can affect each other. So if you have any muscular or soft tissue problem, maybe we can start from there today and show that.
So I, like most people today, work a desk job a lot, so I end up with the tension in here.
Okay.
Today doing pretty well, because I do quite a bit of work to take care of myself. But this is always an area that when I have no complaints and I've come to see you and like, oh, let's just do a little work on that occiput or that base of the skull area.
Right.
So let's do that, because that I know you've always treated distally.
Yes.
So it's an easy way to show on
So,
camera.
For that, because I like this image covering, this is head, and this is your neck, this is your upper torso. That's the image I'll use, and without failing, this always works for most of people. So I will start with that image. Image meaning that area will affect your neck easily. So I'm gonna start with that area. So.
And you know what I always appreciated when you did that too is the nice thing about the distal acupuncture. If you have had acupuncture and it's been more localized, distal is something to ask your provider about, because when Matthew's done this, when I came in at one point and I did have some chronic issues that have now been resolved, he could work on here and have me check and give him feedback on how my neck was feeling,
Right.
which was great because then you could adjust to work in other areas.
Yes.
So I felt like I got really good results with every session.
So again, image, I'm using this wrist area for your occipital pain to neck pain, and then once I put the needles in, that means I'm getting very good stimulation here to wake up those injured or very lazy the pain pathway back.
Right.
Does it make sense? No, it doesn't.
Actually, it did
What should I
make
say?
sense. I like the way you did it. When you talked about before and said, being that it's chronic, right? The body's gotten used to this neurologically, so we have to wake that area up to pay attention again. And that by placing needles here,
Yeah.
I'm getting the body to pay attention to what it's representing, which is basically to go, oh, I've got a call. So,
Okay. Should I say that?
yeah,
Okay.
I like that.
Yes. So basically, again, this has a communication issue with the nerve system. You've been asking help, body has been ignoring it, or you're not listening. Whoever caused the issue, there is a miscommunication. We are just waking them up or recorrecting the communication back to where it should be by stimulating areas that's really related. And so we'll use this area for
So, for those who haven't done it, I noticed what you're doing now is you've cleaned the area with the alcohol swab.
Right.
Right? So that we have, make sure there's no surface
yeah,
anything
and then
going on.
always disposable.
Always disposable.
One-time use needle. So we never reuse needle because it's more expensive to clean.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's much cheaper to go with the this.
And what's nice if you're looking here on
Disposable
camera,
needles.
so the needle it's very, very thin and it's inside this case. And
Yeah. So this is called the guide tube, and then it has a handle and then needle shaft, and we just
very, very, almost like
Yeah.
hair fine.
So find the points that you want to stimulate and then just tap it.
Now, is there a certain depth? Because I know you've done different things with depth.
Yes, depths matter. So trapezius is big muscle. They're a little bit thick muscle. Then I need to go a little deep. Imagining this is your trapezius and just go a little bit deep, and that's it.
So when he first placed the needle, hardly felt that at all. Because he's going deep, felt that a little bit more. There's like just a little twinge that hits that muscle layer. But other than a gentle ache, I guess you might say, you don't really notice it. I will tell you that having had acupuncture for years, I don't really notice the needles unless I move. And then, so definitely you want to keep the body in a still position, which is another reason why it's nice that I can do this now and go, oh yeah, I can feel that already.
Right. So maybe the area right here, more muscle areas, will be this top of the
Here.
Shoulder muscle. But if you have more occipital areas, neck pain, then the image we are using now is this is your occipital areas.
Right.
Yeah, and then this is about
Be the
back
neck.
muscle. So then I'll choose one point very close to this.
Where basically the occiput hits the back of the
and
neck.
then same thing, just needling here, and just going a little bit.
Yeah,
deep.
that one I didn't feel at all.
Basically, stimulation is needed, but we don't have to have too much painful stimulation to waken this up. It's
Just this disruption of the skin layer
Yes.
is going to do
just
that as well.
tiny needle going in enough depth, and then we retain 30 minutes, then you will get information from here. You will get stimulation here, and then they will talk to your midbrain to adjust this communication issue back to where it should be. So when we dealing with the pain, we should give instant relief because with not treating your pain, dealing with the pain. When we put needles in, we are expecting instant change. Once we correct the communication, when this back to where it should be, and you would deliver painkiller and blood and oxygen right away.
Right
So
away.
you should.
So it's working already.
Right.
Yeah.
You should
And I
notice-
do actually. I didn't realize I had tension until you placed. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
It is feel looser on this left side.
Of course, sometime because it's habitual issue now, after stimulation's gone, certain times later, it should come back. It will come back. But we keep doing this, then we adjust the habit, then because body always wants to be better, healthier state, they will learn this and they will only use this.
Becomes a new habit. So if I come to you and I have an acute pain
Mhm.
just recently
Mhm,
occurred,
mhm.
how many treatments am I normally looking at?
That depending on your response to acupuncture stimulation. In general, chronic neck pain, 8 to 12 treatments.
Yeah. Now that's for chronic.
Chronic neck pain. Acute neck pain, 1 to 4 treatments.
Wonderful. So the nice thing is, I think some people believe that when they start with an it's going to be forever, but
Mhm.
really the reason you choose to go later
Mhm.
is just you're looking to fine tune other systems.
Yes.
But your root cause of why you came
Mhm.
can vary. It sounds to me like in many cases,
Mhm.
especially for pain, be
Mhm.
fairly quickly resolved.
Yeah.
If you came twice a week, you're looking at a month of treatment, and even chronic pain can be addressed.
Sure.
Wonderful.
If you are coming to acupuncturist for internal issue, you should give at least 6 to 8 treatments to really see if body is responding to treatments and then getting better, because hard to tell what's better, what's not better within couple treatments. But
Mhm.
for the pain, even the 4 treatments, that's all we need to prove that this will work for you. And you are the healer, not us. Your blood is the healing, power, and we're just delivering the blood to wherever you need using this stimulation. So I know many Americans never exposed to acupuncture stimulation and needles. They are phobic to needles because from the beginning when they talk about needle, it's injection needle, putting lots of medicine in the body.
And a larger needle.
Right, that causes a pain. But this is a very healthy, happy stimulation, correcting your own healing ability. And how they are related is very simple map of image we are using. Of course, there are a whole lot more images we can find, but because the simple image always works, we don't really dig in to find very challenging images. Yet it is you making all the changes. We just serve your body, and we do that very effectively.
Now, I know that you, when I would get the needles in, and again, you could feel them slightly when they go in,
Mhm.
the deep ones a little bit more,
Mhm.
but right now I don't notice the
Mhm.
needles at all.
Mhm.
I guess I shouldn't put it that way. I notice them, I don't have any pain.
Mhm.
There's a difference. But I could actually go into a nap. I used to love to come for a treatment because I could just lay there for half an hour. I had peace and quiet.
Mhm.
You'd leave the room and I would just relax
Mhm.
because you don't really feel uncomfortable with the needles in.
Mhm.
Now, what I've seen when you've removed them is some needles will want to come right out,
Mhm.
and others, it's
Mhm.
like you have to stimulate them a bit.
Yes.
So is that a difference in how the body is saying whether or not it's done in that area?
Oh yes. This is also invasion to certain areas, right? So soft tissue, they could be a little bit more guarded, and then the muscle or tissue can grab the needle. Then maybe it's a little easier to twist them and then take them out.
Okay.
Some areas just don't care.
Yeah.
So it's just there, even though they're stimulating, body is not so guarded, so it can easily come out, and we just take them out. So
Interesting.
even going in, going out, we just go with the their allowance.
Their
If they
allowance.
allow us to go deep, we go deep. They say stop, then we stop.
Then you
But-
can feel that
Yes.
after the years of experience.
So, this is definitely not painful experience. It's just your your concept of needle is always kind of pain related, but the stimulation is not that strong here
Yeah.
with the needles in acupuncture. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Thanks for that explanation.